So when we talk about the educator in the mirror, I'm going to go through things here. Educator in the mirror. We need to understand this. I have to be honest with myself to be who I need to be. I do. And see, we can lie to ourselves. I can lie to myself better than anybody else. No, it wasn't your fault. That was their fault. They should have done that. We can tell ourselves what we want to hear. We can, easily. Better than anybody else can. And believe it, too. All right? So, we're talking about the educator in the mirror. I stole this from my wife. I'm like, girl, oh, you ain't playing, are you? Man, I see it all. So she had this growing up. I said, I know before you went out to the club, you used to be in that mirror doing it. No, I didn't. About a month later, well, I used to a little bit. And I know that's not a mirror. So when we look at this mirror, and there's plenty of it. Again, I can lie to myself, or I can tell myself the truth. All right, I can tell myself the truth. And that's important that I do. And it's important that I have people around me that do. Because again, I can convince myself of anything. Anything. All right? Come up here for a second. Come up here for a second. So if we get in this mirror, get on in there. Get in there. Get in here. All right? Can you see yourself? All right. Good. All right. Okay. So if I'm up here, it's hard for you to see yourself, right? You step up here. There you go. All right. Good. All right. You have a seat. Thank you. So, enough room for all of us, right? There's enough room down here for all of us. There's enough room for us in the school system. See, I don't have to compete with you. That's not what it's about. It's not about competition. It's about creativity. And see, some people operate on a competitive plane where I'm always trying to outdo you. It'll never happen because I will never be you. When we're comparing, we lose. Because you will never be that person that you're comparing yourself to. It'll never happen. It'll never be you. When we operate on a creative plane, what I create is mine. Because there's only one me. And it can be imitated but never duplicated. So I have some children's books that I've written. I created these. I created them from my childhood and my experiences, and they're written in a certain way because it's me. Somebody can try to write them, but they won't write them like I write them because they haven't had my experiences. And when we operate on a creative plane, we think differently because we're not competing. I don't have to compete with you. See, we are responsible for creating a life we want. I am a co-creator of my life. I believe this. The life that I want, I need to go create. And we can do that when we understand how to create. And I don't have to be competing with you all the time, trying to outdo you. It's a waste of time. But I can create things in my classroom. You can create things in your classroom that you might not have in another classroom, but you create it a certain way because it's you. There's only one you. And you create that. So when we operate on the creative plane, it is so much different than operating on a competitive plane. Because competitively, we lose. We're always trying to compare ourselves to somebody else, and it's a waste of time because you will never be that. So again, that's important to know. Educator in the mirror. So, rearview mirror. And I did this, and I don't know what I was thinking. So, you know, when you're looking in the rearview mirror, it's hard to see the road because you're always looking at what's behind you. And sometimes we get caught in this rearview mirror in our life, and we get caught in the past sometimes. And then people try to hold us in the past sometimes too. But we can't waste time looking in the rearview mirror. We can't do it. It's a waste of time. We need to look at what's in front of us and continue to grow and get better. So I was riding with my wife one day. I was going to try this experiment. So I'm looking in the rearview mirror to see how long I can drive and not have a problem, right? So I got a little way down the road. Next thing I know, I'm hitting gravel. My wife's like, "What are you doing?" I'm like, "Girl, I'm so beautiful, I can't take my eyes off you." But again, trying to drive and looking at the rearview mirror, next thing I know, I was off the road because I kept looking at what's behind me, not what's ahead of me. And we can do that. We get caught up in that. It's easy to do. But I'm telling you, for me, I always say, I'm not where I want to be, but I'm not where I used to be. That's all I know. All right? And every day I'm working to get a little better. That's all I can do. That's all you can do. That's what we can do with our kids. And it's important that we understand that. Stop looking behind you and look what's in front of you. Because you may miss it. And I'll tell you this. I tell my kids this all the time. If you're not intentional about things in your life and the opportunities you have to help others and benefit others, you will miss it. You got to be intentional about it. Like, I'm looking for it. When you walk down the hallway, you got to be looking for those opportunities. Because if not, you will miss them. And you are the game changers. Every person sitting in this room, you're a game changer in those kids' lives. And sometimes it's just a hello or a pat. That's all it is.